everyone. This is going to be our lesson on imperialism in Latin America and Asia. This will take place on February 14th, a Tuesday, 2023, as well as February 15th, a Wednesday, if you are in B-Day. So let's go ahead and get started. Your warm-up for today will be the following questions. As always, please pause to think about these questions before I go over these questions. That is how you will best engage with this content. How can the desire to increase trade lead to imperialism? If they want more access to new materials, to new people to buy those materials, to new people to work in those industries that will create those materials, they might turn to imperialism. Remember, what is imperialism? That's one nation having great influence over another nation. So that can be like physically conquering them, including like overtaking the government structure, or it can just be them having a lot of control over that nation through social and political and economic trade means. Why would a country create a foreign policy that would infringe on the rights and principles of other people or nations? I want you here to be thinking of social Darwinism. One culture may believe that they are ethnically, politically, within their religion, superior to another group of people. How did the Spanish-American War impact United States foreign policy? So this was the United States getting involved with, it was changing the Monroe Doctrine. What was the Monroe Doctrine? Think back to yesterday to previous units to remember. Monroe Doctrine was saying they didn't want colonization to occur from Europe, but they wouldn't interfere with the existing colonies. Everything changed here because the United States kind of started to get involved in this colonization idea through they obtained Cuba, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and Guam. And this Spanish-American War began because they got involved with this colony that was Cuba and fought in this Spanish-American War. And how did it impact domestic policy? People began to think that, again here, social Darwinism, people began to think that they were superior in the United States to other groups of people across the world. So today I want you to turn in that warm-up. We're going to do these slides on imperialism as well as the notes, and throughout the slides we have this political cartoon worksheet that you will turn to as well throughout. Oops. And then we might have time for some ACT prep and an exit ticket today. I'm sorry, I thought I was sharing my screen this entire time, but maybe I wasn't. Okay, well, this was just intro. Here's your questions, rundown of the day. And the exit ticket will pertain to this question. How did imperialism assist the United States in becoming a world power? It was a similar question yesterday. Today is kind of part two. Yesterday was Spanish-American War, so we're going to be building on that and looking at other regions of the world and some of the aftermath. We actually went over these couple slides yesterday, these slides on Asia, so I'll ask you to refer back to yesterday's slides. This is just some review here. This is going to be your first political cartoon for this political cartoon worksheet. So I want you to list the objects and people you see, list any words, numbers, or phrases. Are any of the objects in this cartoon meant to symbolize anything? What might they symbolize? Based on the words, numbers, or phrases seen, list any adjectives that describe the emotions portrayed in the cartoon, and then describe the action taking place in the cartoon. So here, I don't want you just to say like what is happening here, but what's the larger action? What is the contextualization of what is happening in the United States to influence someone to create this cartoon, and perhaps trying to motivate somebody to take that action? And explain the meaning of the cartoon. Overall, what is the cartoon's message? What do you think that the artist who drew this cartoon is wanting people to think when they see this cartoon? What is their interpretation of what is going on in history at that moment? So these will be the same as we go through the other options. the other cartoons. We also talked about the Panama Canal yesterday. The United States I don't remember if I went over it in my video yesterday, so we will talk about the Panama Canal again right now. The United States decided to build and control this Panama Canal because they really wanted access to this trade zone. The United States actually provoked a revolution against Colombia and supported the rebelling Panamanians, which in return gave the United States to build and control the Panama Canal Zone. I found out that I'm not able to play YouTube videos within a YouTube video, which is where I'm posting these. So I'm not able to play this for you right now, but you can always access these videos through accessing the slides that I'll post on Canvas for you to watch. We also talked about Latin America yesterday, and here is another cartoon for you. So if you're in class, I'll review these slides with you again, but if you are just watching on video because you are absent or you're watching to review, just went over these in the last video for you. Let's see, we also got some information on Puerto Rico, dollar diplomacy, moral diplomacy, Mexican rebellion. So these are all things that we discussed yesterday that I will review briefly again with you in this class if needed. And we have one more political cartoon. And your exit ticket for today, after we do the political cartoon analysis, is going to be choose one example of a hot spot in the world today, such as Mexico, North Korea, Iran. How and why does this country pose a potential threat to the United States and efforts towards peace? Conduct some research. And based on that research, how do you think that Teddy Roosevelt might resolve this if he were president today? Why? So when we say threat here, we're just thinking about perhaps a country that is prominent in United States headlines, a country that many US leaders might be thinking about and how they're impacting the United States. So really many countries could fit in this description. And just because I have this word threat here doesn't necessarily say that you have to think that there's going to be an immediate war between these two countries or anything like that. So it was really quick and simple today since it was mostly review, kind of just breaking it down a little bit further and emphasizing further these points. That tells you that they're definitely going to be super important. And I'm also have a short day today because I assume that we will need a little bit extra time to go over that debate from yesterday as well, which I definitely want to have some time to do. All right, see you all in the next one.